Hi everyone, it's April 20th, 2012. I'm Dwight Schmuck. This is the Schmuck Look. Today we're going to talk about faith, religion, reason, and science. Now those are four words that you normally don't hear together unless it's from Rick Santorum, who is eschewing the reason and science part of it. Well, if we're not allowed to talk about God, why, we can't have science talk either. Rick, this is America. We can talk about any damn thing we want. It's what you're teaching your children, our children, everybody's children. And you're going to promote this one religion, Christianity, one faith, style of religion. There's many religions. There are many different faiths. And faith and religion are two different things, folks. They are two separate things. I'll go into that in a moment. But specifically, and by the way, this is in response to Rick Santorum, our 12-year-old without reason, Bill Maher. It's on, check it out, it's on YouTube. Rick Santorum, our 12-year-old without reason, Bill Maher. It's by, McCain is through X. Bless your heart, guy. You did good. You really did. At any rate, you know, reason and science. We look at fossils and we know they're older than 5,000 years, idiot. But according to Mr. Santorum et al., why, God created the world in 7 days, put Adam and Eve on it, and, you know, from there on we've just gone. Now, I got the big question, Santorum et al., please answer me. Who the hell did Cain marry? His sister? No, I believe the verse says he married a girl from a strange new land. So, obviously then, God created other people besides Adam and Eve. Or doesn't that compute? And here we go. Like I said, you know, you look at fossils, nobody rode a frickin' dinosaur. And faith has nothing, religion tells you, no, it's 7 days, 5,000 years ago. And Noah, bless his little heart, he put all these animals 2 by 2, every species in the world, on his boat. Now, they lasted, what was it, 40 days and 40 nights, and the waters receded. Now, that's a hell of a lot of food and drinking water. Not to mention a big old pooper scooper every morning, afternoon, and evening. Somebody be fibbing, they're telling a story to make a point. Now, there's no doubt in my mind there were great disasters through mythology, and mythology is just another word for religion, if you really think about it, because the Roman mythology, you know, Jupiter and all of those, Neptune, yada, 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 they were worshipped. Now, to worship means religion. The Norse gods, Odin, Thor, the Valkyrie, angels perhaps, and, you know, the Norse people, Norway, Finland, Sweden, their kings allowed the Christians to come in and proselytize without killing them off, as the Romans tried to do, the Egyptians tried to do with the Jews and the Christians. And by the way, I'm not getting down on Egyptians or Romans here, I'm just stating historical fact. Again, that's a dirty word, but fact starts with F, much like faith. And either you can take recorded history and have faith in it, or you're saying these people all lied. And this is what people like Rick Santorum are doing. He's saying, well, all these people who've come up with all this evidence, this science stuff, they're lying. The Santorums teach their children at home. They're homeschooling them because they're terrified that somebody will talk reason to them. Now, when these children And invariably with homeschooled kids, especially faith homeschooled, religion homeschooled children, when they get out there to the real world, the big old world with people of many different religions, many different beliefs, they don't know how to handle it. They're lost. And thanks, parents, you've done that for your kids. And you're doing it, trying to do it desperately to all of our kids. Folks, Santorum et al., they want to say America was founded as a Christian country. Not exactly. The guys in charge, Washington, Jefferson was notorious about his, let's just say, agnosticism, for lack of a really better word. He was, he had the creator thing because he was a man of faith that there has to be something else. I'm a man of faith myself, and I'm going to use faith to prove the evolution and the science and yada yada all works. And I've done this argument before. I'm sure some of you are tired of it, but here we go. In the beginning. And now check with the scientists. In the beginning, all the stars and planets and gases and everything in the universe was compressed into a piece of matter about the size of a human thumb. Okay? About that size. And then one afternoon, about 4:20, it decided, screw this, and exploded. And in a billionth of a second, because it just got fundamentally tired of being a piece of matter about the size of a thumb, it created the universe with all the galaxies and stars, and this had to be really super compressed matter in the beginning. And over billions of years, because they're estimating that our universe is about 5 or 6 billion years old, and there are other galaxies out there we're yet to discover, so that timeline could go a little bit further. Well, we've formed planets and life, and and I'm pretty doggone sure that in all the galaxies and all the stars and all the planets surrounding those stars, there must be other life. So that would typically mean God is just picking and choosing and saying, here, we'll try this, and he's a great experimenter, God is. I also think he's got a hell of a sense of humor to let people like Rick Santorum get as far up the food chain as they do. But anyway, back to the beginning. Back to in the beginning. Who made that thumb-sized piece of matter? Where the hell did that come from? There. Faith, reason, science, all into one. Some guy 2,000 years ago wrote it down that it took place in 7 days, or 4,000 years ago, whatever. Yada yada yada. El Toro Poo Poo de la Toro. It took a hell of a lot longer than that, but this was a time chain that the people he wanted to follow him could understand. That's all it is. There's some logic, some reason mixed up with religion. That's why I call myself a man of faith. I do believe in a God, a creator. I just don't believe that I should kill, or that God, that creator, wants me to go kill to promote him or her. And by the way, God could also be a her, because if God is everything, ask Santorum, God is everything, right? That means God's also she. Once again, we're going to come back to that question I posed at the beginning. Who the hell created the girl from the strange new land that Cain married? Remember, after he killed Abel, he was exiled. He went and married a girl from a strange new land, because how many children did Adam and Eve have? Here we go. Back to these old arguments. I've posed them before. Other people have posed them before. It's what screws up people like Rick Santorum. And this guy wanted to be president. The Republican Party went along with his ambitions to a certain point. And fortunately, some saner heads took over at the primaries, at the polls. Thank God for the people. At least somebody saw some reason. They saw the light. Now, to Wilbert Benjamin and Lynn Scottsdale, 2 new subscribers yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your comments. I really do. Thank you so very much for subscribing. And folks, it is April 20th, 2012. It's 420. And in honor of 420, well, hell, we'll just, fire it up one more time. Happy 420 to everybody. If there was more 420s, there'd be less fighting. And it would probably cost us a lot less in the defense budget, too. Needed you to think about that also. Faith, religion, reason, science. They can go hand in hand. You just have to have an open mind. The key word there was open. I'm Dwight Schmuck. That's the Schmuck Look, folks. Y'all have a great day. Peace.